If I count how many times people have asked me how I relocated to Canada as a permanent resident, I think I'll be I'll be having some cool cash with me now. People were like, is it doable? Did I use an agent? What route did I go through? And so on and so forth. So I'm here to tell you how I did it personally. Disclaimer, please. I am not an immigration consultant or agent or whatsoever. Everything I'll be sharing in this video today is personal. This was how I did it, and this was what worked for me. And secondly, in this video, I will be telling you the time frame, how long it took us, and then all the money involved, all the amount involved, the amount we spent at every level. If you want to know this and more, please stay tuned and watch this video to the end. Thank you. If you're just seeing me for the first time, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Kemi. I am a Nigerian immigrant in Canada. I just moved here not so long, and I will be sharing my story, how I got here, and my lifestyle here as it goes on, and every other thing in between. And I promise you, you have one or two things to always learn on this channel. So why don't you just come on and join on here with me? Without further ado, let's go on into today's video. After myself and partner decided, we've concluded we are relocating, and we've narrowed down the country we would like to settle in, which is Canada. So we started making inquiries how to travel to Canada and all of that. So me being a pharmacist, I was just scrolling on YouTube one day how a pharmacist can relocate to Canada, because the only way I know as at then was being a student, coming as a student. So I was just making my research, and I stumbled upon a video of a pharmacist that relocated to Canada as a permanent resident. I was like, wow, as a permanent resident, how can I do that? I watched that video, I showed my husband, and from there we started making our research. We made our research and we found out it was possible. How? Let's go into it. Please, you might see me looking down. I have everything written down here because I want to be able to give you guys the full details. So I'll be looking down here once in a while. So the first thing to do that we had to do was, the route we wanted to come through is the FSW, the Federal Skilled Worker Route. That was the route we came through. So there is a pool called the Express Entry. But for you to be able to create your profile on the Express Entry, you have to do two things first. You have to evaluate your credential, your degree. You have to evaluate your degree with that of Canada to know if it meets the Canadian degree. And then secondly, you have to write the almighty English proficiency exam. I know when it gets to this point that people are already running away. Before we started this thing, when I hear the English exam too, it seemed like something really big. But as we got into it, it was not as big as I was saying before then. So we had to do these two things. I was the professional, I was a pharmacist, and we're thinking, being a pharmacist will go well, like it will go really fast and all. So we got into it. And part of how part of evaluation is, there are different bodies that evaluate different professions. But for me, Pharmacist Examining Board of Canada. And how do I need to do that? I need to send them my transcript. My school needs to send them my transcript, some other documents from my pharmacy body in Nigeria, and so on and so forth. So doing that was the first step, and doing that was quite stressful, because then that was 2022, and that was October 2022, and that was when the war in Ukraine started breathing, because that was where I schooled. So it was really hard for me to get somebody to help me go to my school, because I have been sending them a message for a very long time and no response. But luckily, I got somebody through someone. I had to pay for the guy's service. He went to my school. He was able to apply for my transcript. They sent it to the board in Canada. I got my documents, other documents that they requested me to get. I got it, and I sent to them, and they were evaluating my document. They told me the time frame that is needed for them to get back to me. Alongside this, I was studying for the almighty English proficiency exam because of the way people have been shouting of IELTS. So I did not want to write IELTS because IELTS is written on 2 different days. You write the reading, listening, writing on a particular day, then you write the speaking on another day. So I was like, that's 2 different days. But there's now this other exam called CELPIP. CELPIP is a Canadian English proficiency exam itself, and that year was when they started writing it in Nigeria, and it's only written in Lagos. So I was like, okay, let me write CELPIP. This is one-time thing. I was preparing for CELPIP while my evaluation was going on, and while we were researching, we found out that if your spouse does the same thing, like evaluate their credentials and also write the English proficiency exam, it will boost your score. And well, what I mean by score is this whole processing is a score based processing. There is a calculator you can use to calculate your score, ranging from your age, your profession, how long you have been practicing your profession, and some other questions. So we found out that your spouse doing all of that will boost your score. So while I was doing this, my husband was also doing his own. It was West my husband used to evaluate his credentials because that is the body required for his own profession, and he was also studying for the English exam. Likewise, I wrote the first English exam. I did not pass. Me being a primary applicant, I'm expected to have the highest score of the English proficiency for me to have a very good score. My partner does not require that much score as much as myself being a primary applicant. So I wrote the exam. I did not pass. I had to write it again. So I was still reading for this exam before my evaluation came out. So by the time my evaluation came out, it was positive. So I wrote my English exam and I passed. And mind you, I passed now. I did not have the highest score, but I passed to the extent that I can now create my express entry profile. So November, all of this, I'm just saying, when we started like August. So all of this fast forward to November 2022. Yes, we entered the pool. When I say we entered the pool is when we created our express entry profile. So we created the express entry profile and we were there. And mind you, when you're creating this profile, everything you said in your profile, like your name, your age, your profession, how long you've been practicing, everything you said is what you will defend with credentials later on. So November 2022, we entered the pool and we were waiting. And the pool, they do draw every 2 weeks. Draw is when they will go to the pool and they will take a particular number of people with high score. For example, if they say the score they are taking today is 500, so everybody from 500 and above will be sent ITA invitation to apply. So we're in the pool, and there are a lot of Telegram groups to join for all this processing, so that you'll be able to hear other people's processing too, and be able to tag along people that you are applying at the same time. Yes. So we're in the pool, November 2022. We're in the pool. Nothing happened to the end of November, to the end of December. So we were like, what are the other things that we can do to boost our score for possible ITA? Up until January 2023, nothing. I think, yeah, at the point I rewrote my exam again to boost the score. We were still there. And while you're in the pool, you can always rewrite your exam to boost your score. You will change it in the pool, it will increase your score. Some people even go as far as getting another degree to boost their score. You can do a whole lot of things to boost your score while you are in the pool already. So February 2023 came, nothing. March, April, May, nothing. But in May, In May 2023, the IRCC and Canadian government made an announcement that there are some professions that they are looking for. So they are placing those ones as priority above every other profession. It's not that they would stop taking every other profession, but this category of professions, they are prioritizing them. So they call them CBD, category based draw. So I think a month after, no, that same month of April, May, they released the profession, they released the list of the professions, and healthcare was part of them. By the time I checked the list of professions under healthcare, pharmacist was not there. They were looking for pharmacy assistant or technician. And I was like, how? There is no way they can take me as a pharmacy assistant or technician because that is not what I am. I am a pharmacist. So I was like, I was looking into other ways or other things to do to boost my CRS score, so to say. But on this same list of the CBD, there is agric there, and my husband studied an agric related course in school. There is agric there, and by the time we checked the list of the professions under agric, lo and behold, my husband's course was there. And it was like, okay, this is good. And because my husband has also done evaluation and written English proficiency exam, he can also enter the pool. And now that his course is now even part of the list that was released, that is how my husband opened an express entry profile in June. Don't forget, in June 2023. So he opened the profile and we were all there. And while we were in the pool, there is something called POF, which is proof of fund, that is required of you that you're coming to Canada. You're expected to have a particular amount that you use to cater for yourself, at least for the first few months you land, before you can get yourself a job or something like that. And the amount varies from family to family. As at then, we were a family of three. So the amount required of family of three for us then was 21,100 Canadian dollars, if I'm not mistaken. So we were required to have $21,100 as our proof of fund. So we started saving that before we got to before June 2023. We have started saving that in my account. You know, I was the primary applicant initially, so we started saving that in my account. So fast back to June 2023 when my husband entered the pool. We were in the pool and we were praying, waiting for a positive report. June ended, July ended, August ended, nothing. But at that time, okay, my husband was like, he wants to rewrite his English exam, at least now to score the highest points now because he's a primary applicant. So so as to boost our CRS score. Now in September, I think he was about to book. He was about to book already. So he was waiting for the confirmation because you have to pay in foreign currency for that exam. Lo and behold, September 28th. Yeah, September 28th, my husband just even came back from a trip and we were home. And whenever they do this draw, they do it it's around Nigerian time from 8 to 10 p.m. So that day I was just packing and we were supposed to have another trip the following day. So I was just packing and around 11 p.m. I just took my phone. I was just scrolling through and I just saw the page. There's a particular browser app store there, like the page where you see the draw they did, the amount of ITA they sent out, and the CRS score. I just saw the list and I saw that date and I saw a Greek based draw. I was like, I just come out they did a Greek based draw. I saw that they gave 600 ITAs, and looking at the CRS score they did, I was stunned. I knew my husband's CRS score was around that number, but I could not remember the exact number then. I just called my husband. I was like, they did draw a big base score. What is it? What is your score? He remember the score, and I was saying, are you sure this is your score? Because the score we were seeing was the exact score of my husband. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? I was just very shaky and all of that. So my husband just took his phone. He was trying to see if he got a mail. So he just took the laptop and he checked his mail. And once I just saw a do not reply message. For people on this journey, you have an idea of what I'm saying. I saw a do not reply message, and the moment you opened it, I just saw the Canadian flag. Woo! That was it. Like, that was it. And for people on this journey, or anybody that have an idea of what I'm saying, once you get ITA, invitation to apply for permanent resident in Canada, once you get that, like, that is now the beginning of the real journey, not the one we have been doing all this while that have been in the pool. Because you'll be shocked, there are people that have been in the pool for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years and more, and there is no way forward yet. But once you get ITA, that's like the real journey that is starting to look real. So we got ITA, we could not believe it. I was so happy. I was just jumping. My husband was just sitting down there and was just smiling. Like, it is really, really, it's getting real. So now they sent us invitations to apply. And once they sent us ITA like that, they gave us a maximum of 2 months, 60 days, to send in all the required documents and everything. So we started gathering our documents, everything we have told them that we have. Now it's time to bring documents to back it up. We started gathering our documents, and part of the documents is you have to get a police report. You have to get a police report, and if you have stayed in any country for more than a period of 6 months, you have to get a report from that country too. And mind you, thank God I was proactive. I got my police report from Ukraine when I was doing my transcripts. Then when I was trying to get transcript, I got my police report there. Thank God I got it then. So we got Nigerian police report. We went to our banks, and part of for our POF, they require a minimum of 6 months bank account. So they want the money to have been in your account for at least 6 months. They don't really want something that just entered your account today. If you just enter your account today, if you have reasons or documents to back it up, maybe you sold the land or something, or a family member gave it to you, if you have your way of backing it up, no wahala. But we have been saving up until that time. So we went to the bank, we got bank statements, all our credentials, we got everything ready. And we submitted a week later, which was if I'm not mistaken now, which was on the 7th of October 2023. Yes, on the 7th of October 2023. So while you're submitting your application, you're required to pay some fees, and the fees: right of permanent residence, which is $515. Mind you, all this money I'm mentioning are subject to change. I think even this money have changed, but the amount we paid then for right of permanent residence, $515 per adult. So myself and my husband, we paid $515 each, and then the express entry fee, which covered the biometrics and some other fees too, that one is $850 per adult. So two of us, we paid $850 each, and then the express entry fee for child dependent, our son, we paid $230. So the sum of this all money that we paid while submitting our application is 2,960 Canadian dollars. We paid it and we submitted our application, and from there we moved to another group. At every stage that you are on this journey, there are groups to join. That is another beautiful thing. There are groups to join. You see people that you are on this journey together. You guys talk. People that have been there before you, they come and share their own timeline or story. So you always have people to ask questions. There is no question that you have that there is no answer to. You have people to ask questions. They will put you through. So we joined another group, AOR, acceptance of I think acceptance of request. I can't remember the name now. I'll put it down here. So 7th of October, we sent our document and paid that fee, and we went into prayer. Sorry guys, I have to stop this video here for now as it's quite long. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share this video. and expect the concluding part very soon. Bye for now.